Last topic of this unit, cloud scale. Cloud scale is having, we have the dynamic scaling, and the next topic is tools and monitoring systems. Now, these two topics we are going to see in this cloud scale. Now, first let me have see what actually the cloud scale means. Cloud scale is nothing but whenever we require the demands is more, we are going to be enlarging our resources, enlarging our things horizontally or vertically. As we have already discussed that enlarging horizontally means adding some extra, like adding one more server, adding any printer, adding the horizontal way. Vertical way in the sense we are going to be increasing the RAM, increasing the hard disk vertically. So alter, what actually the cloud scale means, it will be alter your computing resources to meet your load requirements, and as well as what automatically whenever the resources is required more, if you go for manual adjustment capacity in the traditional computing is a huge advantage, but in real power of this scaling in the cloud it is a dynamic scaling, because in the cloud as much as you are going to utilizing the cost, the resources, the running of that computing is required more, so automatically it will be adjust the database, it will adjust the RAM, automatically move from one to another, right? So cloud scale means altering your computing resources to meet actually your load requirements. Now manually if you go for in the traditional it is a huge advantage, but actually in the cloud the scaling will be done in a dynamic way. The figure shows you the scale up, already we have discussed in the class as well. This is scale up, this is scale down. Small things, it is a scale out, right? So scale up means increasing, scale down means decreasing of them. Now come to the first topic heading of this cloud scale is dynamic scaling. Dynamic scaling means without your interactive involvement, automatically it has to enable the software to adjust resources in your infrastructure. Now dynamic scaling will be having two types, proactive scaling and reactive scaling. Now, proactive scaling is one type, reactive scaling is another type. Proactive scaling is totally depending on the schedule. Means whenever we require alteration for your infrastructure based on the project demand, it automatically we are going to schedule that it will be enlarging based on the demand. Reactive means just it is its own occurred. Based on its own occurred, we can add or remove. Let me see what actually the proactive means. See the scenario. This is an example for AWS example, this elastic load balancing. Now we are making some scheduling based on some timing schedule event, or based on the date schedule individual events, or we can make some recurring scaling events as well. Now this is what actually the total capacity, but whenever we require, automatically it will be based on the schedule, it will be increase the scaling. So initially it is a only one, next based on the timing it we can set the minimum, maximum or design. Minimum will be there, when you require the maximum capacity we can also use the max, or the desired means whichever required, how much we require, that is enough for the desired capacity. Now this elastic load balancing, that is EC2, it will be take care automatically, it will be increased as number of users are going to be increased based on the scheduling. So proactive scaling will done based on the projected demand with respect to schedule. Whereas reactive, it is as I said you, it is totally like on in demand by adding or removing capacity. See here, when we require minimum size, we can go for this. Minimum size required, we can go for this. When we require some desired capacity, we can use one more. We are not at a time using entire. So we have the scale out as needed, but we are not using the maximum size based on the add or remove. Based on the minimum size, possibly we can go for first one. If not possible, we can go for desired capacity. Like this, we are moving from one to another, and based on the last, some of the requirements is required, we can use this empty scaling, empty resources as well, right? So this is done automatically. Automatic scaling can be done in the reactive. So reactive is a best one, cheapest one, because as required, we can be adjust among that, or if you want, we can add or we can remove it. Now the first next one under this topic, cloud scaling, is second topic, tools and monitoring system. Now how you are going to be monitoring whether the scaling is done properly or not is we are using some tools monitoring of this. So this is an example how the system monitor your cloud health. Means outside of this one, this is a cloud of our cloud having our servers, the status of the process. outside with the help of the monitoring softwares. We are monitoring whether the scale up or scale down or reactive, proactive, whether how much the data is required, how much the computing speed is required, RAM, bandwidth, CPU. We are monitoring with the help of this monitoring software. This will be done outside of the cloud. This is done outside of the cloud. We are monitoring. So under this, how you are going to be procure means, for example, you have all registered for quick labs, you have registered for or aws, like different clouds you have registered it. Initially when you are registering, procuring process means nothing but when you order for an item, like when you are ordering an item in the Amazon or in the Flipkart, how the procuring process will be done. How you order, just you log in into the Amazon or Flipkart, choose some products, add to the cart, and after the end of your shopping, go for payment. This is the process normally. Now procurement process in the cloud is little bit of different. In the traditional, we can go for spending directly money. This is the item I needed, please take, and you can purchase. But in the cloud, it will be different. It is not like in the traditional manner. Say for example, in the cloud, spending of money is very easy. In traditional way, we are choosing, we are seeing physically which requirement, which device or which thing we require. We are touch that physical and we can purchase it. But in the cloud, as much of has the services you are utilizing, as much of the resources you are using with respect to the RAM, the speed, the bandwidth, the network, everything, the amount will be has to pay. So automatically, if you see this one, these 2 points, if you read out, financial approach for the purchase of order against your department budget, and the order goes off to the vendor. Now this procurement process, how it can be done normally when you want to purchase a server means, first we'll raise the quotation. Based on the quotation from the different companies, which quotation is the best one, the financial has to approve by the department for that one. After that, we are purchasing the sort of the cloud or any other servers. So you don't spend $3,000 on a server unless that spend is clearly through financial. From financial department had to take some permission. Nothing in the AWS infrastructure prevents you from executing EC2 run instances. As I already we have experiences with the AWS credits, if you are left it the instances without stopping that instance, and automatically the credits will be goes on, right? So if you are having purchase with any credit card, or if you are taking any membership for a credit card, once the membership is expired for a 1 year or 1 month, if you take that membership expire, automatically it will be detected from that credit card. Another best example, EMIs, right? EC2 instance is automatically, it will be, if you are running state, it we require automatically the spending of $7,000 over the course of a year. Anyone have access, launch the new instances, alter the scaling criteria of your cloud management tools, has full procurement rights in the cloud. So easily we can spend not only $3,000. It is a normal physical way how we can do the process of purchasing a procurement process, like raise a quotation, choose the best quotation, make a approval from the financial department, order the thing. But here the last bullet talks about how you can be do AWS infrastructure automatically, means like you are running the instances as just one time or a many number of times. It will be based on the spending of your instances or running of instances, the amount will be varies, right? See, to purchase this, it takes only $3,000, but here it's a $7,000 over a course of a year. So that's how much of service, how much of resources you are using in the cloud, automatically the cost will vary. Now the second subheading under the tools and management system is, it is managing proactive scale. How we are managing the proactive scale means, just we are going to be have a well designed proactive scaling system is required. Now how you are managing the reactive scaling is, reactive scaling is a powerful rope you can easily hang yourself with. The meaning of this is, it enables you to react quickly to unexpected demand. Means sometimes when you are want to run any program, automatically they say that if in the paid version it gives you more friendly nature, it gives you more fast way, like this they will have some business tricks and they will be trapped to that. So that's what it is called as rope you can easily hang yourself. Automatically we are going to attract to that type of offers. Automatically we are registering and we are purchasing in the online, right? So these are some of the business tricks will be there in the reactive scale as well. The last is the scaling vector. So how you are going to be make the scaling vector form, which can be stored vertical scaling as well as horizontal. This vertical scaling on the other hand is replacement of existing server. As I said you already, if you want to be replace the virtual existing servers, now it will comes under vertical scalability. On the other hand, is a scaling by replacing with this. Now, instead of that, we can go for virtual environments, or we can go for the cloud environments in a good way, or it's better to go for horizontal scaling. So the strength of this vertical scaling is better to go initially, take some small credits, smaller or lesser specialization configuration, then go for a more configuration. I'll show you one table which shows you in this one. This example shows you for Amazon. This is the 8 Amazon medium. The capacity is 8,000 pages views per minute. The cost is $0.80 per hour. If you go for 2 Amazon large, it is a 10,000 page views but per minute. But the here is it is a 0.8 per hour itself. One Amazon extra large is there, same 10,000 page views per minute is there, the same cost. So better to go for a smaller one. Later you go for the higher ones. This is how we can be configured, how we can be purchase our different memberships. Right. As a continuation, when you go for vertical dynamic scaling, please make sure that add an instance over this and wait for the new instance or remove one or more instances. Right. So in the scaling vector, we have focus, vertical scalability, and an example. And the second way is vertical dynamic scaling. That is the vertical scalability. This is a dynamic scaling. So in this dynamic scaling, we had to make sure that we had to add the instances and move from one scaling to the another scaling based on our requirement, or wait for the new instances to begin the respond to request, or just remove one or more older or smaller instances from the system. Right. So that's about the fourth unit, the total unit 4. So whatever the material I've shared in the cloud, it is a older one. Now today I will be updated the newer one, whatever we have talked about here. And if you have any doubts, please raise your hands. Niharika, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So what we have completed now, just now?
The cloud scale, sir.
Okay, good. So after a seriousness, some of you are came into picture. Came into picture means you stop your works and you have came into the class. Just you, most of you are just owning your system and slides is going on. In the laptop, you are going to working your seminar works or mini project works or lab works, or maybe it depends on your interest, right? So some of you are watching the movies, some of you are going to doing documentation preparation, some of you are like just now minimizing the screen. Whenever I ask that, are you there means suddenly you are picking, maximizing the screen, zoom screen, and yes sir. What we covered just now means you're not listening the class, so that's why you're not answering. So few of the students are not listening, simply or doing the things, but that is it is not the question, right? So anyhow, right? Yes, Sujani.
Sir,
Yes, please, Sujani.
sir.
Yes, Sujani. You raise your hand. Tell me.
Hi, sir. I am there. I am here only, sir. But my network some problems, sir.
Yeah,
So
yeah, Sujani, I understand because of some network or bandwidth problem. Yes, you are a good
so
student. I
I raised
know
my
because you already once the before the class started, you are coming to the classes. I know.
hand. Yes,
I
sir.
can understand. Thank you, Sujani. Thank you very much.
Mm.
Yes, Asifa.
Sir, for CC lab, we should update all the 12 lab experiments or from Lambda, sir?
No, no, all 12 experiments.
Sir, will you please extend the mini project date, sir?
No, it's a 20, right?
Yes, sir.
How much time you require?
Next
But if you
Friday.
see the mini project, all are very simple mini project you have selected.
Yes, sir.
Because
But
you have started
we have
only
little
one
time.
strategy of from the class. Anyhow, I agree. I'm not questioning about the mini projects. Now let me know how much time you require.
Next Friday, sir.
Next Friday means is that 20?
1 minute, sir. I'll tell you.
No problem. Tomorrow is a 17. It's a 24. Okay, 24 you're asking. So no
Yes, sir.
postponement, please, for the mini project. So we'll extend the date for a mini project up to 24. No extensions
Okay.
again further. So lab manual, lab soft copy had to submit by Saturday. There is no extension for that. And for mini projects, please, as from all of you, as if as requested, take the extension up to April 24. Okay. So any other? So just today we have completed the unit 4 just now. So tomorrow we'll start the unit 5. So I request please have the attentions of the listening of the classes. It's not mean that it's online. At least you can get some idea where we can focus. It. Just reading of the, when you open your material in the home and if you are reading, it's not be understand, right? So this is critical come topics, but I'm trying to be make you give you more graphical representations, right? So we are giving our more efforts. So please understand that also.